Hey guys, this is Bharadwaj with Phone Arena, and today we are comparing the Nokia Lumia 920 with the LG Optimus G. So as we know and as we saw earlier, Nokia Lumia 920 is Nokia's latest flagship, and it is basically known for its 8 megapixel pure view camera. And of course, it's the flagship Windows phone from Nokia. So, from what Nokia says, it's the most innovative smartphone, and it has certain features to back that claim. So, and at the same time, LG Optimus G is LG's first flagship smartphone, which has contributions from LG's own companies, LG Innotech, LG Chem, and LG Display. So all these companies have worked together to make this phone, and this is probably LG's best designed smartphone that has ever come out of it. So it is basically the phone that led to the Google Nexus 4. So this phone modified is the Google Nexus 4, and that's what goes for the Optimus G. It is not available everywhere yet, but it is coming to the United States soon, and it is going to be available everywhere soon. So this is the LG Optimus G. So let's get to the comparison then. Coming to the design of both these phones, this is the Nokia Lumia 920 and this is the Optimus G on the other hand, and if you can see, they both are of the same size, and they look pretty much the same from the front because of the beautiful black bezel that surrounds both these display. You cannot practically see the bezel if I turn off the display. So as you can see now, it's completely black. The LG is completely black and looks pretty slick, but you can see the capacitive buttons here on the Lumia 920. So this is the thickness comparison. The LG is pretty thin, coming in at 8.3 millimeters, but the Lumia 920 comes in at 10.7, and so it's pretty thicker, but we don't see any difference when it comes to size. It's pretty much the same. Both these phones are of the same size. When it comes to the design, the Lumia 920 has, of course, the fabular design philosophy that has been Nokia's favorite design since the Nokia N9. And this pillow-shaped design and the unibody polycarbonate has been striking, and the Nokia Lumia 920 is absolutely one of the most beautiful phones to look at. So we have got the white version, so it's glossy. There are also matte versions of this phone which look better in my opinion, but this is the white version, and the zirconium strips on the back and the sides have been replaced from the original design, which had stainless steel or chrome, which had a lot of scratches, but these are scratch free and it looks absolutely great when it's in black. So the black and white combination is great, and the buttons are great too. And as you can see on the sides, it is very curved and it's very easy to hold. But when it comes to the weight, it weighs 185 grams. So that's pretty heavy for a phone, but you won't feel it when it sits in your hand. So it's not that much of a concern, but it is definitely a deal breaker for some reporters. But we are not complaining on that. So that's about the Lumia 920. And when it comes to the LG, and as you can see, this is probably LG's best designed smartphone ever made. So the front is pretty sleek, everything is black, and all you can see is just the LG logo here, and this is the front facing camera and whatnot, and here you have the capacitive buttons. But on the back, you can see that the sides made by plastic covers the back too, but there's a glass backing. As we repeatedly say, this is one of the best designed LG phones. It looks blocky, but again, it feels very good in the hand, and the screen is very smooth. Both these phones have the oleophobic coating, so the screen is very smooth to operate on. But unlike the Lumia 920, which has the 2.5D curved screen, this is a flat LG screen, and the display has been made by LG Innotech, I mean the screen. So that probably helps, different companies doing what they do best. So this is the back, this has a glass backing, and the sides has a little chrome strip to it, and that's the thickness of the LG. So that's about the design. We definitely prefer the Lumia 920 for the design, but the weight is a factor which cannot be, brushed aside when it comes to smartphones. So the weight is better on the Optimus G, but otherwise the Lumia 920 is better in design. So let's talk about the display then. This is the Lumia 920 here. It has a 4.5 inch 1280 by 768 display, which Nokia calls it the Pure Motion HD Plus. We'll talk about it in depth. So this is a 1280 by 768 display means that it has a 16 by 10 aspect ratio, unlike other phones which have 16 by 9. And there is also a lot of things packed into this display. The screen has been laminated onto the display so that there is very little air gap between the screen and the display. And of course there is a CBD coating, Nokia's clear back display coating. It is a polarizer coating and it provides extreme outdoor visibility. So it should be very awesome in the bright sunshine in outdoors. So, and again you have what they call is a super sensitive screen, so you can use the phone even with gloves on. And of course there is the 60 Hz refresh rate of the screen, which attributes to the name of Pure Motion HD Plus. HD Plus is the resolution and Pure Motion is the 60 Hz refresh rate for the display. So that's about the Lumia 920 in display. And on the Optimus G, it has a very similar resolution, in fact the same. It's 1280 by 768 again, but the screen size is a bit larger. It's 4.7 inches, and as you can see the bezel is pretty thin, and the display is IPS panel made by LG, which is amazing to look at. Both these screens have deep blacks, and we can't actually compare these two screens because they both are awesome and amazing displays. So only thing is that the Lumia 920 has a bigger bezel, and it has a 4.5 inch screen and still is as large as the LG Optimus G, but the LG Optimus G has a 4.7 inch and still the same size as the Lumia 920, and of course that is largely thanks to the smaller bezel. So that's it for the display. Both these displays are awesome and both these display perform great, and both are amazingly bright and true to the color representation. Their color palette is pretty good too. So that's it for the displays. We like both these displays and there is no comparison between them. By the way, we forgot to mention that the LG Phone 2 has a zero gap display, pretty much like the one on the Lumia 920. The Lumia 920 is laminated close to the display, but what LG claims is that it has a zero gap display made by LG's own display company. So, and of course LG Innotech for the screen. So there is literally no gap between the display and the screen. That's what LG claims. So when it comes to the internals, both these phones have the Snapdragon processor. The Lumia 920 has a Snapdragon S4 Plus processor, which is a dual core processor running at 1.5 GHz. It has 1 GB of RAM and 32 GB of storage. While on the other hand, LG is one of the world's first phones to feature the Snapdragon S4 Pro processor, which is a quad-core processor running at 1.5 GHz, and it has 2 GB of RAM and the same 32 GB of storage. So when it comes to raw performance, the LG Optimus G easily beats the Lumia 920 because it has 2 extra cores and of course extra gig of RAM. But when it comes to day-to-day performance, both these phones perform pretty well and obviously perform day-to-day tasks up to the speed. And of course, since Windows Phone is very optimized for any kind of low-performing hardware, it performs absolutely brilliantly. But in the case of Android, it lags sometimes. But since this phone is yet to be updated to the latest version, it might get better. So and in terms of gaming, this LG Optimus G has the Adreno 320 GPU, while the Lumia 920 has the Adreno 225 GPU. So in every aspect, in terms of raw performance or gaming, the Optimus G is definitely better. So in that aspect, the Optimus G definitely wins. So let's get to the cameras then. The Lumia 920, as we know, is known for its camera. It's a 8.7 megapixel hybrid sensor which can take equivalent 8 megapixel photos in 4:3 as well as 16:9. So the output is basically 8 megapixel, but the sensor is 8.7 megapixel. It also has the Pure View branding. It is part of the Pure View Phase 2 as Nokia calls it. So what's special in the Lumia 920 is the whole lens and the sensor assembly is floating. It's floating on springs basically. So it has optical image stabilization, which allows longer exposures and helps in low light situations, and also it can stabilize video footage. So it's very advantageous for a camera in a smartphone. So it's always known that the Achilles heel of any smartphone camera is low light. Even the Nokia 808 Pure View, which has the best camera in the world, suffers in low light. So that helps a lot in the Lumia 920. And also another factor which helps for the Lumia 920 is the aperture. So it has a f2.0 lens, f2.0, which means that it is a very fast lens for a smartphone camera. So that's about the Lumia 920, and it has probably one of the best low light cameras in the world. But when it comes to the Optimus G, it has a 13 megapixel camera for the international version. The United States version and some other variants have the 8 megapixel version, but there is not much going for it. It's a okay camera which can take decent photos in daylight, but like every other smartphone, it absolutely it takes rubbish photos in low light. So easy winner there. The Lumia 920 has the better camera, and the Optimus G is no competition to the 920. So that's about it. The Lumia 920 wins. And before I forget, I want to mention the special audio recording facilities in the Lumia 920. So it has a mono HAAC mic, which Nokia calls as the rich recording. So since it has rich recording, you can record very low frequency audio with, and of course high frequency audio with very less distortion. There is so less distortion that you can take it to concerts, and this will be your best camera in a concert, at a concert. So that's about it. The Lumia 920 easily wins this round. The camera is so better, and of course one of the best smartphone cameras in this world. So when it comes to the software, this is an Android phone, and this is a Nokia phone running Windows Phone 8. So Windows Phone 8 is the latest version of the Windows Phone software that was initially unveiled by Microsoft 2 years back. So till last year, it was Windows Phone 7 and Windows Phone 7.8 on even the Nokia Lumia devices. So Windows Phone 8 is a complete refresh under the hood. It might look the same on the top, but it's a complete refresh. And the major changes when it comes to the UI is that it has resizable start screen tiles now, which is a pretty extended customization option than before. And of course, there are a lot of under the hood changes that support a lot of new hardware, like the new 720p screens and better cameras and whatnot. So the chassis constraints have been slightly removed and has upped the ante. So when it comes to Windows Phone 8, the only thing that strikes everyone is the Metro interface. It has been the same since the OS's inception. So otherwise, when you see what Windows Phone 8 has added, a lot of under the hood things like we talked about. So it has now Bluetooth file transfer. Earlier it used to support only the Bluetooth audio accessories, and it has NFC, so it can work with all kinds of accessories. And of course it has wireless charging in this phone. So Windows Phone 8 is basically, expanding to other hardware, and it supports a lot of hardware that initially was not supported on Windows Phone 7. So it's a lot more flexible. Even in the UI, the start screen tiles make it more flexible. But otherwise, there is nothing much going for it. The amount of apps are still lacking when it comes to comparing it with iOS or Android. So that is one major complaint, and also a lot of OS related features are missing. Like there is no notification center for Windows Phone. You have to rely on these live tiles, which act as notification centers for individual apps. But still, there is no unified notification center, and a lot of features. You can go on and on about it, but we think it's going to be fixed in a while. It may be late, but it's in for the running thanks to Nokia. It's probably the best Windows Phone 8 experience on this phone, because only because of the added effort that Nokia has put into this. So Nokia has all kinds of apps, mainly mapping solutions like Nokia Maps and Nokia Drive, which are actually the mapping solution that is powered in this phone. So it even has a lot of apps like Nokia Music, which is a Nokia specific service for unlimited music. And of course, Nokia City Lens is part of the mapping solution coupled with augmented reality. So there is a lot of effort from Nokia when it comes to Windows Phone specific apps, and these apps are available only on Nokia's Lumia devices. So that is a bit of a differentiation, and definitely enhances the Windows Phone 8 experience without adding a skin on the top like on Android. So that's a bit of differentiation that's going for the Lumia 920. But when it comes to the Optimus G, it runs on Android 404 ICS. It is slated to get Android Jelly Bean soon, but we don't know when, and this is LG, and keeping up with their track record, we might not even see Jelly Bean on this device. But since this is a flagship, I think they will get it on soon, and it has already arrived in Korea. So that is an attestation to the fact that this phone will be getting Android Jelly Bean. But with ICS, the phone is pretty good. LG has its own skin on the top, as you can see. It has a bit of customization going on, and also there are a few features like LG's own version of multitasking. Like it's called the Q slide. It means that you can play a video over any screen and watch a video whenever you want to do anything. So that's a pretty cool feature. And also it has several other gimmicky features like which are very similar to Samsung Smart Stay and Samsung Motion. Like you can zoom by tilting the phone ahead, and of course Smart Stay means it'll when you're looking at the screen it will be on, otherwise it will be off. So those kinds of gimmicks are there, but otherwise it's a pretty skinned version of Android and heavily customized. So the update issue is a problem, but ICS works well. It is very snappy, and all the apps work well. So that's a good thing going for it. So that's it about the LG Optimus G software. There is not much else to talk about. So concluding, we can say that both these phones are very good phones. So both these phones are good flagships, but when it comes to the user, it's up to them to decide which phone they want. The Lumia 920 is a great phone, has a lot of features packed into it, and there is a lot of innovation going for it. So the camera is absolutely brilliant, and if you are a casual user looking at taking great photos and video with the phone, of these two, definitely you can prefer the Lumia 920. But the Optimus G running Android has extreme customization options, and since this is the phone on which the Nexus 4 is based on, you'll probably get some hack and you can install stock Android to it. So this is pretty much the same phone as the Nexus 4. Apart from the build quality issues like the broken back glass, it's a great phone and it is a very great performer. So it is probably one of the best performing phones in the world right now. And so that's what's going for the Optimus G. So if you're looking for a great customizable Android experience without stock version, of course, then the Optimus G is for you. The camera is pretty decent, of course. So that's it for it. That's the Lumia 920 versus the LG Optimus G. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you want more comparisons like these, and rest assured more are coming. Stay tuned.